What's up, guys? Welcome back to Season 4 of the Morning Brew Podcast. I'm your host, Kayla, and today I am joined by singer, songwriter, musician, producer, all-around great human, Benjamin Lazar Davis. Today we are sitting down and we are talking about Maya Hawke's recent Moss demos. We're talking about his band BB Wisely. We're talking about some solo work. And most importantly, we are talking about his new song that comes out today, No Need to Reply. I hope you guys like this episode. This was a really special one, super fun to record. So without further ado, I hope you enjoy.
Hey.
Hello.
I'm here.
You're here. I love the hat and the piñata.
Oh, thank you.
What's the piñata for?
Well, this is like my new recording studio here.
Oh.
And it's a whole house. And my friend Bridget, when we had like a little tiny party studio opening thing, brought the piñata over from the closest grocery store.
I love it.
And yeah, I don't know. That was cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm Kayla. Nice to meet you. And welcome to my podcast. Would you like to do a quick little introduction about who you are and BB Wisely and all that?
Sure, yeah. I mean, I'm Benjamin Lazar Davis, and I'm a musician, songwriter, producer, human, father, I have various projects, including Cuddle Magic, and BB Wisely, and Benjamin Lazar Davis, and I am just happy to be on here. I feel like we've been trying to make it happen for a long time, and thanks for your interest.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I have so many questions to ask you. So has music always been a part of your life?
Yeah, when I was growing up, my dad is a musician.
Okay.
And he plays a lot of like fiddle music for like contra dancing.
Okay.
As well as like early jazz, like Dixieland and swing music. So he was, playing gigs and rehearsing, and he plays like clarinet and saxophone and banjo and piano and guitar, and sings, and has my whole upbringing. Currently he's like a professional musician. He toured with the Mamas and the Papas in the 70s.
Oh, that's so cool.
Like after Mama Cass died, and he taught some music when I was growing up, and so there were a lot of instruments around the house always growing up, and I think it was just very natural to just do music, and it kind of never really I feel like what I've been doing hasn't really changed that much since me being a little kid. Kind of just kept doing the same thing. Like I didn't have very much. It's just kind of going,
Yeah, so he sounds like he's a man of many talents. Is there a specific instrument that first piqued your interest, or just playing around with all of them?
I think, like, when I was really little, when I was 2, I started playing violin, which then I quit right like I was 2. So I kept drawing pictures of it, and then when then I started taking piano lessons, and that stuck for a little bit, maybe 2 years, when I was 5, I think, and then, but I kind of my dad got me a little electric bass, like a little tiny one, which I have pictures of it, but somehow he got rid of it, and I just wish I still had that. It's so cool. And he was teaching guitar lessons in like a little room in our house in Saratoga Springs, New York. And like I would get home from school and he would be like teaching these lessons, and he would be teaching like guitar chords to these kids, and I would be playing like I would like play electric bass like in the lessons with the kids. So I would like be playing along with these kids learning guitar, and then I don't remember like learning guitar. I mean, I'm very basic on a lot of instruments, but it's more the big picture that I feel like I'm good at. But I kind of like knew how to play guitar without learning because I just was watching these kids
That's
play.
so cool.
But then in fourth grade, I had to kind of choose a instrument for like orchestra or something like that, and I started playing like classical bass, and that's kind of what stuck for a while. I got two uprights. There's 4 rooms in the studio, and I ended up like going to college for upright bass, and so that kind of maybe stuck the most. But I was always like, I had a cassette recording device growing up, and I kind of had that. I kind of was writing songs and recording songs and just playing different instruments. And like I remember, those like water jugs, the big ones.
Yes.
Like I would like set up like a drum set with like an upside down chair, with like a upside down stool with like a water jug like on it, like muted up with a shirt, and be like hitting that.
I had the Tupperwares and paper plates.
You too?
Yeah.
Okay. We're the same.
Yeah.
Well, I want to hear about you too.
Sure, yeah. I play music on the side sometimes, not professionally by any means. I play the drums. I'm self-taught on the drums. And then I'm trying to learn bass, but the reason I went for drums is because I cannot read music. And the strings confuse me, to be quite honest with you.
Okay.
But
well, if you
I try.
We could do a lesson of.
I would love that. Yeah, I have an electric bass and I have a ukulele, and I just every now and then give it a try with a couple strings.
Well, I have 6 electric basses here and a ukulele, so we could do it. I actually have never really taught lessons ever.
I will gladly be the trial student.
Yeah, I could pay you to teach me how to teach a lesson.
Oh, sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Where are you from?
I'm from California, so I'm from the Bay Area, but I currently live in Austin, Texas right now. So my family moved here during the pandemic, and then I now work in the tech industry over here in Austin.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's booming over there, maybe?
Yeah, we've got a lot of music scenes happening over here, so petition for tour to come to Austin sometime. I'll host the after party at my small apartment.
Okay, sweet. Cool. Well, I like Austin whenever I go. It seems like a cool place.
Oh, glad to hear it.
Los Angeles here.
Oh, I love it. I love Los Angeles. I just don't get out there enough.
Yeah. And I also have a loft in Bushwick in Brooklyn.
Okay. Cool. I've been to Brooklyn once.
I've been there like in that loft since 2009.
Oh, wow.
And then I kind of added my Hollywood, like I have a small bungalow in Hollywood.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, this studio is new. This is new studio for me. And it's really special, magical to have a place with all my instruments in it. I've got I'm really into pump organ. I have 4 pump organs here.
Okay.
A piano, a mellotron, 2 mellotrons, a Juno, 2 Moogs, a drum machine, about 10 guitars, 2 banjos, 6 electric basses, drum set, and yeah, it's really exciting here. But yeah, what else?
So I was thinking we could talk about some of your solo work. Do you have a favorite song that you've written or performed?
I guess I don't know. That's a good question. I feel like I've kind of in preparing actually for a live show that I'm doing a week from Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which I guess podcasters will hear it. When is this one coming out? For you all listeners,
This weekend.
but it'll be Sunday, known as Sunday. And I was just playing a song of mine called Irene, which is kind of a deep cut. It's the fifth track on my first solo record. Called the album's called Nothing Matters. And yeah, basically, I don't know. It's been fun to play it. So I don't know. That's what I'm most thinking about right now, but only because I was just rehearsing with myself. just just before before we started talking.
That's so cool. What is that song about?
It's kind of like about a story if you were on the phone with a loved one and there was some kind of storm. I wrote it during Hurricane Irene.
Oh, I see the connection.
That's pretty a long time ago. But it's like kind of like you're talking to someone named Irene and there's a storm happening. And and basically it's like the last time you see them.
I gotcha. Okay.
So it's a sad one.
Yeah, that is.
But it's not necessarily based on reality. It's just
okay. Well, that's good to hear.
But I was imagining it like I was in Bushwick and there's crazy winds and the tree was going down and I was like talking to the storm, through my song.
That's artsy. My favorite song of yours is I Bet You're Fucking. And I was wondering if you'd be down to talk a little bit about that song and what that song's about, too.
Oh, yeah. So, that song I wrote with my friend Bridget.
Mm-hmm.
And me and my friend Jeremy McDonald had a session at the studio in Brooklyn that he was working at. And we made, like, the instrumental to it. And then I was hanging out with Bridget, like, separately at a bar, and we were talking about another friend of ours who was, like, kind of a man about town,
Mm-hmm.
who enjoyed the maybe more than occasional fling.
Sure.
And this is just how the inspiration started. And like he was at the bar with us and then he like left and I was like, I bet it's like we were looking at each other like I bet he's gonna go have sex with someone from the internet or something like or not from the internet.
Right.
Kind of as a joke, me and Bridget were just joking. And then I forget what order everything happens. Then me and Bridget do a lot of sending stuff back and forth and writing with like different processes. And I sent the instrumental, which was like the chord progression and the beat and stuff of that song, over to her. And she kind of wrote it. And I think we had a car ride to our friend Eamon's like place upstate New York, and I think we did some more thinking about the lyrics. But mostly she did, most of the writing of the lyrics, which are again kind of like, I don't think specifically autobiographical. That, because it kind of changed, like when I said, like, I bet he's going fucking or whatever, it was like, it wasn't necessarily what the song ended up being about.
Right.
It's kind of like, which is kind of like when you introduce your lover to someone else and then they leave you for that person. And yeah, I guess, and then just the feeling of jealousy and how that feels to be internet stalking them and
Right. Yeah.
alone with your thoughts about what they're doing. And actually, funnily enough, it's not a sentence, but I worked on my version of that. She has a version of it too.
Yeah.
But I worked on my version of that, which co-produced by this guy Lars Hornsbeck, who's a Norwegian guy, and basically, I picked him up on like, I forget what year it was, but it was New Year's Day. I picked him up at JFK and drove him to upstate New York, where my parents live, where we recorded that record, and he pretty much like was going through that exact thing, and he almost couldn't work on the song.
Oh, wow.
It felt like too close to home. He was dating Kimberly, and I actually met him through her, and then he introduced her to someone, and then she ended up being with him, yeah, it was interesting to hear how it connected to his life.
Yeah, that's crazy. So it started as like an inside joke.
Well, I guess, yeah, it started as just like joking about how our friend was leaving the bar to go, and we're like, I guess I'm ready to fuck it. And then Bridget kind of took it from there, but with the music that I had sent to her.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's super interesting. So I have to ask then, there's a lyric that says, "I bet you're fucking 4 feet off the ground." What does that mean?
Well, I guess, it might be more of a Bridget question. Maybe you could get her on the podcast. But in my mind, like when I was singing it, just thinking of various sexual positions. Yeah, I guess your imagination can take it from there. It seems like 4 feet is like, I'm just trying to like get, like I'm 5'9" or 5'10", something like that. So it's like, honestly, like, you have to use your imagination, but...
I thought you were talking about short guys for a really long time.
But if you're fucking, like, if you're on a bed, I don't know how tall beds are.
A loft bed.
Yeah, exactly.
Bunk bed.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to ask, we're going to ask Bridget, but I think, like, I don't know how tall, like, people's waists are.
We'll have to conduct a poll.
Yeah, we should get to the bottom of this.
On average, how tall is your waist?
Well, just like, I guess you're kneeling on top of a bed. I didn't mean this to go. I don't mean to like sound creepy or anything. I'm just trying to answer the question. Like, a bed is like, what's a standard bed? Like 2 feet?
I think so, like 2 feet.
And then from your knees to your waist.
I have terrible depth perception.
That could be another 2 feet.
I think it could be another 2.
I don't know. I don't know what you can and cannot say these days, but if you were on top of a bed,
that's about 4 feet.
Then I don't know. And obviously in a cis relationship, you could be on I hadn't thought about this, so this is you're catching me off guard.
Asking the hard-hitting questions.
But like that seems like that's one of the even least creative versions of it that you could think of. maybe.
We'll definitely ask Bridget.
Okay, yeah.
Where does your song inspiration usually come from? Like, when you're going throughout your day, do you, like, do something or see something that kind of just sparks interest?
I guess I'm like a collaborative songwriter, and I write with a lot of different people, and it's kind of like somewhat social thing. Like I'm like such a people person, and I also like making music, so it's like it's a lot of times it's coming from someone else, um, or from various musical ideas. Um, I'm really into like Indian music and African music and um, you know American folk music, and so it, I guess it can come from various places, um, or maybe I'll like be walking around and I'll think of a line and I'll jot the lyrical line down, or maybe someone will like send me something and that'll inspire me, either lyrics that I can turn into melodies or kind of musical ideas that I can expand upon. I don't know how to say it, but anyway, so I guess it comes from. I like to think. I mean, I think there are like things that I settle into and specific things that reoccur, but I like to like feel open to new ways of being inspired and coming up with ideas, and not necessarily feel like there's like a norm, even though maybe I do settle into certain things, ways that processes that things happen.
Do you usually go lyrics first or melody first, or does it depend?
Um, Definitely have been in a lot of situations with both. Like sometimes they'll just be like the music, not even any melody. Sometimes like the melody and the music at the same time. Sometimes like music and lyrics and melody at the same time. And sometimes like lyrics first. Like sometimes someone will send me lyrics and I'll like take those lyrics and like make music out of them. Uh, Sometimes, yeah, I'll write a song with the melody and the chords and send it to someone who will finish the lyrics for me. So there's a lot of relationships with different people that I have where there's slightly different situations.
That's super cool. So you said you are like a collaborative person and writer. How did BB Wisely come to be as that trio?
Well, okay, so Will Grave and we went to school together in Boston at New England Conservatory.
Okay.
And me and him at one point started a duo project. We didn't like release anything, but at first it was just me just singing, and him just playing baritone electric guitar.
Okay.
And we played a couple like house concerts in New York because we both moved to New York shortly after college, and so we had a band called Chime Wisely.
Okay.
And then me and Bridget also went to New England Conservatory. And she and I had a band that did end up releasing stuff, and we ended up being called Bridget Carney and Benjamin Lazar Davis.
I see.
And we have some releases under that name. But kind of before we released anything, and we were just doing some shows around Boston or New York, we called ourselves BB Gun.
Oh,
because
okay.
both our names start with B.
Nice. Okay, I'm seeing where this is coming together.
And so, like, then I don't know. I'm trying to like remember. Like, it feels like we've been a band forever, but I don't think it's been forever. I think we kind of like somehow we put them together, and BB Gun and Chime Wisely, became BB Wisely. And now we've done a bunch of shows, and we played Big Ears Festival in Knoxville. Um, that's not so far, right?
Yeah, that's not too far.
We did that last year, and um, yeah, I don't know. It's a special project because we all like write songs, and we've got more music that'll be coming out. And yeah, those are just like special people in my life, and I think like as I'm doing more recording and less touring, because if I have the studio and my child, and like it's good to kind of like consolidate a little bit like the important things, and um, not that that was what I was thinking, but I feel like it's cool to like combine two special relationships and two special people, so that when I do it, it takes care of both like my boxes of people that I want to have excuses to hang out with, and musicians that are really inspiring, and whose kind of like musical skills kind of really complement mine, I think.
Yeah, I've seen you guys live, and it's like the coolest, most interesting combination of people, I think, and like artists coming together. I don't know, you guys are all very talented. I'm always intrigued anytime anything new comes out.
Yeah, thank you. Um, we're excited about the band and the future of the band, even though it's like a very kind of side project for people. But yeah, I'm excited. Thanks for asking about it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I don't know if you can answer this question. Can we expect anything new from BB Wisely in 2024?
Yeah, I think we can. I think I don't know exactly when or where or how, but the recordings exist.
Okay, okay.
And I think, yeah, we've been kind of like, we made an album, but kind of instead of releasing it all at once, we've kind of been like putting one out at a time. Oh, I remember how we formed our thing. Me and Bridget were going to do another record
Uh-huh.
at duo.
Yeah.
And we decided, since like the record we did before was like a collaborative project with Ghanaian musicians that we recorded in Ghana, we decided this next one was going to be, and it had like electronics and like drum set of this drum set player in Ghana, and like it was very like produced. We decided we were going to do like a stripped down, like more acoustic record. And so we hired Will to guitar, and kind of did 9 days with him where he played like as the first thing that we recorded. Each song we started with like just him playing guitar, acoustic guitar. And then kind of as we did that, we were like, wait a second, this is kind of a trio record.
Yeah, this is kind of cool.
Yeah, exactly. Like we were like, so that's how it happened. I forgot, but it's good that you reminded me.
Yeah, that's super awesome.
So it's a bit of an accident.
Okay. Well, it's a happy accident.
We still have like maybe 6 or 7 unreleased tracks from that record.
Oh.
We released a few from that and started recording more, and yeah, so you can definitely expect some stuff from us in 2024.
Okay, I'm gonna be the first to pitch the idea of a release party in Austin.
A release party, okay.
just a fun little idea. This one's kind of a collective question because the people want to know. Having seen you play in concert a few times, does playing barefoot help with the quality of the music?
Well, I use like both with like BB Wisely and like Maya, and sometimes in my solo projects, I like play a bunch of like pedals with my feet, including like an electronic kick drum, and then like pedals that trigger different sounds and drones and beats and like different things. And so like sometimes it got complicated if I was like wearing different shoes, like maybe it'd be winter or it'd be summer and I wear sandals or different things. Like you can't always wear the same shoes.
Right, yeah.
Or so it kind of became like a consistent, like a consistency thing. Like I wanted to not consistency like that. Well, maybe both, but
not
like,
foot feel.
Like I wanted like, to keep it always the same.
Gotcha.
Because you always just have your bare feet.
Right.
So if you do it with your feet, if you're doing a lot of stuff with your feet, and then suddenly you're wearing like random shoes, or you show up with sandals because it's hot out, or you buy a new pair of shoes, or you lose your shoes, or whatever, all the different things that could make it so sometimes it's changing. Like if you practice with bare feet and you perform with bare feet, you're always going to have the same shoes.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm a distance runner too, so I get that. You practice with what you perform in. That makes sense.
Oh, so you're a runner?
I am, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Just for funsies.
I used to be a runner.
Yeah?
I ran a few marathons.
Oh, a few. I've only done one full, and I cried. So, so I stick to halves from now on.
Oh yeah, no, I ended up hurting my knee, so I don't actually recommend marathons because I feel like it's amazing and it feels really good for your soul, but I don't know if it's actually the most like healthy thing long term.
The next day, I was in the hotel and they had like a swivel chair at the desk, and I was using that as a walker to walk around the hotel room.
Oh my god. Yeah, well that's cool. Congratulations.
Thanks.
And yeah, I don't know. Trying to think. Oh yeah, it feels like there was that whole barefoot movement on running, where like people were running marathons. Well, there was those shoes.
With
like,
the toes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever try those?
I haven't, but I think my Nana has some actually.
Oh really? Is she a runner?
No, she walks a lot and then does Pilates. She's kind of a beast actually. But yeah, I think she has some.
Okay, cool. Where does she live?
She lives in Santa Cruz.
Okay, not so far. I mean, 5 hours.
Yeah, not too bad. Well, you mentioned Maya, and I'm super excited to ask about the Moss demos, if that's cool. So Maya's Moss demos just dropped fairly recently. So for those like myself, not in the music industry, when we are saying we're listening to her demos, what does that actually mean?
Well, like, usually before you make a record, just to kind of get ready and get organized about like the song and like decide what songs you make and show them to be able to show the songs to like people that might be playing on the record or a label that might be putting them out, or like various reasons, or even just to like figure out the song so you're not like showing up at the studio with like with no idea. I mean, there's lots of ways to go about it. No demos is great, like you can figure it out in the studio, like blah blah blah. But a lot of people will like kind of make these recordings at home or in on their computers in an Airbnb or whatever, I feel like, and then you go into the studio and you kind of either make something that's similar to it but better or better sounding, or totally change it. And maybe making the demo will help you be like, this one we got, let's stick to that vibe. Or this one, like, I love the song, but that didn't really work. Let's change a lot of things, So, yeah, like, for those who don't know about demos, like, they usually happen, like, kind of either before the recording process or, like, right when you write the song, you'll make them. And so I did kind of, like, remixes of the demos. So I took like the stuff that we did before the recording and
Mm-hmm.
like kind of messed with it in a way. Like I took just those things. We had our vocals, we had some acoustic guitar stuff that were these raw demos, and I kind of decided I was going to even make them more raw, and like even just to like hammer home the point that they were demos, which are supposed to be shitty. Like so they almost were like not quite shitty or demo-y enough. Like some of them were kind of felt if we were releasing them or sending them to fans that we should like that as soon as I started working on them I realized like I should make them sound less. So it's like I was doing things like run her vocals through like this,
Okay.
like a cassette tape thing, and like miking, and then like playing it back through this, and just trying to make them sound like worse.
Like these are two
like
put together.
Like bad lo-fi demos.
Yeah.
Maybe they were a little like too similar to the record. Some of them. So I was trying to like create something special for the fans that like kind of was demos and kind of was just like a remix, like my own thoughts of like what demos should be or should sound like.
Yeah, I think you achieved it for sure. I love that you can hear you guys talking to each other in the background about like, oh, keep this, or like, let's speed this up, or stuff like that.
Yeah, Maya was pretty, I mean, I was doing it anyway, but Maya was like pretty excited about leaving some of that stuff in. In fact, I like went through each track, like it might have been pulled, like I might have deleted it, and I was like looking like at the end of I was like pulling it back to be like, did we say anything there? Oh, did we say anything on this track? Did we say anything? Oh, like this part where there was talking, like that's really quiet. Let's turn that up. So any of the things that kind of were any of us talking, or things at the end, or like quirky things that probably wouldn't be left on like an album. Like I was kind of trying to milk the most out of like those moments, because I knew they would be like eaten up by.
Oh, they totally are. They're such fun Easter eggs. I know a ton of people that are like, did you hear the beginning of that one track where Maya just says, "Fuck this bitch"?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Totally. No, yeah, there were some moments that I heard that I was just like, yes. That's like that moment where you're just like, awesome, And also, what's cool about demos is like sometimes you like in general when you're making a demo, or when I was making these, like they weren't all for commercial release, like they're just sent to the fans, and we ended up putting out the one for Over, or she ended up putting it out, but there's a certain sense of like, give a fuck that sometimes isn't there for the actual recording. And, for those people that like don't know, there's like this term called demoitis.
Okay.
Where you make like a demo and it's really good, and then you go to record it like in a real studio, like in the app. Like this is different now, because I have my own real studio, but like back then, or in general, people are making them at home, the demos, and sometimes because people feel freer, and they're not as like, oh my god, this is the real thing, it's got to be perfect. There's this sense of like the demos can just be like, I don't give a fuck, and like when she was like, let's this bitch or whatever, whatever she said, like that energy, not just with saying that before the track, but just the energy of just being like, cool, like this doesn't matter, sometimes is the best. And then people like sometimes are like, we can't make it better than the demo, and then that's called demoitis.
I gotcha.
When you're stuck on that.
They're so fun to listen to. I like them a lot. I wrote down that I personally love the drum beat in Hiatus that I think got cut from the one that was released. But is there a detail in any of the demos that you kind of wish made it into the final cut?
Well, I know that, like, when the demo for Over, when I finished my remix of it, she was like, "This is better than the recording." And I don't know if it recorded, like, I don't know if it was like what I did to it, or also it has different, like, it has some different sections and different lyrics, I think. I didn't really get too deep into it with her, but like, she was like, "We got to release this because it's better than the original." Or, you know, but, so, you know, I don't know. I think they're just different. The one that, of Hiatus that made it on the record was like basically a recording with no click track, just like Maya and, Christian, like in the room together, just same room, looking at each other playing, like, the song. So it was just like a magic moment. That, you know, for me, it's one of my favorite songs on the record, and it's like one of the most like kind of real songs. It's just that. Plus, I play a little pump organ on it, little this keyboard that you have to pump with your feet to make it go. I have a bunch of them here, but it's like, you know, so that one has this real like human, intimate energy. So I think like in general, a lot of times with the demos when I was remixing them, I was like, okay, how can I be different than the real recording? You know, on purpose.
Right.
So I think partly I added the beat because I was like, you know, the recording ended up being this real stripped down thing. Why don't I throw some shit on it to make it different for you, you know?
Yeah, no, I was listening to it expecting the, like, you know, slow lyrical version, and I was like, this is kind of hitting right now, actually. Like, this is different from what I expected.
Yeah, I feel like both of us wanted something different to, you know, because it was really like, you know, I don't know you so well, but I assume you're like a Maya fan, big Maya fan. And, you know, so we really like made it for you, you know, with you in mind.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No, we're thinking about what you might like, you know, because she cares, you know, about you.
Yeah. How did you guys end up working together?
So there's this guy named Jesse Harris that lives in New York, who's a friend of her dad's.
Okay.
And kind of the age of her dad.
All right.
And Maya started doing music, I think, and had interest in music. Forgive me, like, some of this stuff is pretty, like, I'm like, I know about it, but it's like, you know, I might get some of the details wrong.
That's okay. I'll take it with a grain of salt.
Don't quote me directly on it. Note that. But, like, so she wanted to make music and was writing lyrics, and I think through her dad, I think maybe she knew Jesse for a long time, maybe, I don't know exactly. Definitely, like, her dad knew Jesse, and Jesse's like a Grammy Award-winning musician, he and songwriter. Like, he worked with Norah Jones, and he wrote that song, like, I don't know why I didn't come. You know that song?
Yeah.
So he wrote that song, and so he was, you know, doing pretty well, and people knew him and was friends with Ethan, and so Maya wrote To Love a Boy with him, and he was producing the track, Jesse, and Jesse was a friend of mine. Mm-hmm. And Jesse would hire me to come play bass and different instruments on his recordings that he produced. And so that was like the first recording that she made. And he had me and my roommate at the time were playing a lot with Jesse. And so Jesse called us and was like, or texted us or emailed us or whatever, and was like, cool, come in, to my loft in Tribeca and record the song. And it turned out it was To Love a Boy. And I was playing upright bass.
Oh, nice.
On that. You can hear that on that song. So that was like, I think the first song she wrote and the first song she put out. Well, I don't know if it's the first song she wrote, but, I think that's her first, like, release as herself. Anyway, I think basically I played on her first song that she put out, but I wasn't producing or writing on it. And then we did a whole record where I played bass and keyboard. I played piano, I think, on To Love a Boy, too. And then we did a whole record, and that got released. What was that record called?
Blush?
Blush, yeah. So I played on that record, playing bass, and that was with Will also, and Jeremy, I think, the drummer. So then sometime during that process, I think I asked her if she wanted to write a song. And the first song we wrote was, what's the second song on the record? On Moss.
Bloomed Into Blue?
Yeah, we wrote Bloomed Into Blue first. And this was before even thinking about doing a record. And then we wrote Terrace. That was the second song.
Ooh.
And by the time we wrote Terrace, I was kind of back and forth between New York and LA. I kind of like lived in New York, and then I was kind of bi-coastal for a little bit, and now I live in LA. Still like have my place there, but and so we were basically like, let's record this, like these songs, and she was going to come out to LA, and then she started sending me more ideas for songs, and I was in Mexico producing a couple other records, and like we were going to meet up in LA to record those two songs, and I was like, let's get Christian Lee Hudson involved to play guitar. And then she kept sending me some more ideas, and I kind of didn't have time to work on them myself because I was doing this other project. Anyway, it was just kind of like a little bit of a magic moment where I ended up emailing her and Christian and sending some of her ideas to Christian, and they wrote, I think it was Over, and what's the first song on the record? It was called Kitty,
Backup Plan.
Backup Plan, yeah, totally. There's a lot of different titles.
Making me think.
They wrote, I think, those songs first, and we were like, whoa. So we had 4 songs, and then I was still going to be in Mexico for like another 3 weeks, and then I was like, let's fly Will out and also have him do it, and then we sent she sent him some ideas, and then like it was kind of like maybe like some kind of friendly competition where everyone was like writing songs and asking for more ideas from her, and like suddenly like in 3 weeks we went from having 2 songs to having like 13 songs.
Oh wow.
And then she was going to be in LA to like do a movie or something, I don't remember what it was, and she basically, it got canceled, I think, for some kind of COVID-y reason. Not her, but like...
Right.
Like, it was during that time when...
Just pandemic things.
Yeah, exactly. And so instead of having like 5 days where we were going to record, 2 songs, and then we were going to record 4 songs, suddenly she had like 15 days free in LA. And, I was coming off of like 6 weeks of like working straight. So I was going to take some time off. I didn't have it booked. And I don't know, it just kind of came together to do a whole record.
Nice. You guys, I think, struck gold having a little combo with you and Will.
Yeah, and Christian too, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so you kind of talked about it a little bit, how the demos are different on purpose and in a good way. How did you all work together to get from like point A to point I don't even think it's point B, probably point F with like
Okay,
what we
point
hear.
F. Okay, point F.
Yeah.
Bet your point effing.
Yeah.
Um, uh, well, you know, I think we just kind of went in and figured it out in the studio. We knew we wanted it to be kind of guitar driven because we had like Will and Christian playing guitar together, some of the best guitarists I know. Um, and so I think the idea was to kind of like we didn't have a drummer booked. We ended up having a drummer come and play over a couple of songs, but in general, it was gonna be like stripped down. We knew we wanted it to be kind of with these two guitar players, like just playing these kind of folkish songs. But I think it kind of was just pretty natural, and once I kind of set up this situation of these humans together working, it kind of just fell into place. And there was times when I just was no longer I became obsolete. And it was just kind of recording itself.
That's cool. When you're in the moment, do you realize when something kind of magical is happening, or is it more of a realization after the fact?
I think sometimes and then sometimes you need some space to figure it out. Because like what happened is we had this 10, 15, I think it was 11 days in the studio and like 3 rehearsals before that. And I think some of the songs, like Hiatus, where it was like really stripped down, were like, oh, this is like basically done. And then some of the songs were like, whoa, like I took them all back home and kind of did a lot of like tweaking of some of them to like, make them like work better. And sometimes, that was magical. But because it wasn't as magical at the beginning, gives you room to like do more magic later.
Okay. Yeah, that's super fun. So we're also here to talk about No Need to Reply.
Yes.
So tell me more about that. What is it? What's it about?
Did I send you the pre-save link?
You did, yes.
Link down on the bottom of the it's a song that I started writing with an old friend, Meg Duffy, who's they have a band called Hand Habits.
Okay.
They grew up in a town near the town that I grew up in upstate New York. We both have 518 area codes.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And we realized we were both in LA, and they were friends with some of the same people, like friends with Christian. And I remember when I first saw them play in upstate New York, my band Cuddle Magic was playing with, at the time they were playing with this other artist, and they played a show with Cuddle Magic, and I remember being like, wow, that guitar player is amazing. And then I didn't think about them for a really long time. And then realized that they were in LA, and we got together, and they brought in kind of the verse to the song, and we worked on it for a while. It kind of took a while to kind of get a chorus that we both liked, and but we knew we had something cool. And first, like, they were singing it, and we kind of, I don't know, I don't know if it didn't sit well in their voice, or I don't know, we just couldn't quite get it to work. And then Monica Martin, who is another old friend of mine that I also met with my band Cuddle Magic, Monica, she used to live in Wisconsin and played in this band called Fox with PH. That the band is done now, but and Cuddle Magic went and stayed at their. They all lived together in a big house in Wisconsin and in Baraboo, and yeah, I met her then, and we stayed friends. And Cuddle Magic did some shows with Fox, and then we were in LA, and she came over and I was putting up some random tracks for her to sing background vocals on, and we were hanging out with my little doggy, and we were having a great time. And then I was like, oh, what, like, I pulled up this track that me and Meg were working on, and she just sang the shit out of it. And you haven't heard it yet, because yeah. So she sang it, and me and Meg both agreed that she really did the song justice, and kind of sold. I don't know if you're familiar with Hand Habits or with Monica Martin. Do you know?
Not super familiar.
Okay, well, you should check both their musics out if you get a chance.
Yeah, I will.
Listening, Monica Martin is like a frequent collaborator with James Blake, and Meg Duffy, their band Hand Habits is amazing, and they do a bunch of collaboration with like Perfume Genius and other amazing people. So yeah, I'm really proud of it, and I'm so excited for you all to take a listen.
I'm excited. Do we get a little hint of like what the song is about?
I think it is another kind of breakup song, where you're kind of struggling to get over someone, and the lyrics are mostly from Meg, again, I don't know like how much detail about gossipy who they were breaking up with at the time, but I think it was just an exploration of kind of, at least for me, I can say that. Everyone will relate to it differently, but for me, one thing is like, if you're going through a breakup with someone, and, I feel like sometimes you're texting with people or however you communicate, and it feels really bad to be like the last person to text and they don't respond.
Yeah.
So I don't know. To me, maybe that line, which is the first line of the song, like, if you put that in there, like, you don't feel as bad if they don't answer.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, no need to reply, blah, 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 whatever you're going to say, then you're not like looking at your phone, like, are they going to text back? Are they,
right.
Are they going to undo the thing? And I think just like the song's just, I think, trying to like go from a place where you're upset with the breakup to like making peace with the breakup.
I gotcha. So, I have to ask about the cover art, because when you sent me the pre-save link, that got my attention like right away. I do art stuff on the side too, but so it's a high heel, but it's also a phone, since the listeners can't see it right now. But can you tell me about that? Is that playing into it?
My brother is a photographer.
Okay.
And he's like a fine art photographer.
Nice.
And like a professor of photography at Bard College in upstate New York. And I'm just really lucky to have him as a brother in general. His name is Tim Davis.
Hi, Tim.
And he makes really cool art, and is kind of, I feel like his style for recording art is like, making, I guess it is recording art, is like, he doesn't like set stuff up, so he's just kind of walking around, driving around, looking for cool stuff to take pictures of, or maybe, he'll come back, or maybe he'll, what, so he's kind of just like looking for, so somewhere he found that, and took a picture of it. So I guess we'll have to ask him like where. I should ask him about that.
Yeah, so that's a photograph.
It's a photograph.
Oh wow, I totally thought it was digital art.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh, that's even more impressive. That's super cool.
And I think that phone exists.
I think you should purchase it and put it in your studio, to be honest.
I know. Let's like look. I don't know. I don't want to like take your time. This is a good idea. High heel phone. I'm looking at this up.
Yeah, because that's super cool.
Oh yeah, there's a vintage one on Etsy for $115. Might be worth it.
I am all for pitching bad ideas. I think you should do it.
It's black though. Like what color is the one from the thing?
Blue, like a royal blue.
Yeah, maybe I need to include that as a.
Listen, I'm a painter. I could paint it blue.
Okay, I could send it. I could send it over. Let me see. Blue.
Please hold while we internet shop for this phone.
Fashion shoe phone.
I didn't know there'd be so many options.
This one, it's 1980s.
Wow. Okay.
I think that sounds about right?
I would think so. Yeah, this has to be like aisle 10 of a Goodwill.
Yeah, or Etsy for $88.
Yeah.
I hope everyone gets a chance to check out No Need to Reply and BB Wisely and any of my other Benjamin Lazar Davis solo stuff. Yeah.
So everyone can go and listen to it today, then.
Yes.
Go listen to it right now.
Listen to it. No Need to Reply featuring Monica Martin, who everybody should know about. She has this amazing song, Go Easy Kid.
Okay.
Everyone should check that out. And then she sang on me and Meg's song, No Need to Reply. I've done good so far, though, I think.
Yeah, no, I think we killed it. Yeah, that's all the questions. So we're
and great job. I really enjoyed this, and I hope that I'm just assuming that it's a bunch of Maya fans out there, and I'll just say thank you for liking the music that me and Maya have been making together, and please check out some of the other stuff I'm doing. And I just appreciate all y'all loving the stuff and keep it up.
Ben, thank you so much. This has been super fun. I'm so glad I finally got to get you on the podcast. Hopefully maybe we could do it again in the future. And if you're for real up about teaching me how to play bass, I would be so down for that.
Okay, hit me up.
Yeah.
Hit me up.
Okay, I will. Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah, thanks so much. And I'll see you when I'm in Austin.
Yes, please hit me up. I'll be here.
Or let me know if you're in LA.
Bye. That's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, please feel free to share this podcast with a friend and be sure to follow The Morning Brew on Instagram. Please go and stream Ben's new song, No Need to Reply, featuring Monica Martin. It is out everywhere today. And be sure to join us on our next episode when my best friend Sarah comes back. We are going to be discussing the highly controversial movie Saltburn.